Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to try and fix one of my failed upcycling attempts. Here is the shirt that I'm going to be working with. So the collar of this shirt kind of reminded me of a traditional Chinese shirt collar, and many people in my comments also requested that I make a traditional Chinese inspired piece of clothing. With Chinese New Year's also coming up, I decided that this idea was perfect. Here is the planned design, and here's how the shirt came out. So here I have the white piece of fabric that I'm going to be using as the contrast trim, and then the rest of the shirt that I found. First, I'm going to start by seam ripping off the one sleeve of the shirt and make sure that the two sides are even. Now I'm going to remove the buttons from the front of the shirt. From this scrap piece of fabric, I'm going to cut out a rectangle. And this is the fabric that we will use for the sleeves. While cutting out the sleeves, I realized that my back was in the frame for most of the clip, so I'm going to try and explain what I did. Here is your piece of fabric, and then you're going to cut it in half. For each of the two pieces, you're going to fold it in half. And finally, cut out the sleeve shape. You should have two of each. Like I mentioned before, my back is completely in the way. I hope that the instructions I gave with the pictures make it a little bit clearer. Taking the white piece of fabric, I'm going to cut it into 1.5 inch wide rectangular strips. I initially planned to have 2 for the bottom, 1 for each sleeve, and then 2 for the neckline. I also made these smaller strips, which I will be using to make the buttons. For the 4 button strips, you're going to fold it in half and sew it down. You're then going to flip it inside out and tie it into a knot. To make the knot, I followed a tutorial on YouTube. I then pinned down the pieces where the buttons originally were. Make sure that you're pinning the loop to the top flat. Then you're gonna sew it down. I originally used black thread to kind of create a contrast, but I later decided that I did not like this, so I switched it back to white thread. And you'll see this later in the video. Next, I worked on the sleeves. First, I sewed down the top seam. Next, I pinned the sleeves to the armhole right sides together. And you should start pinning from the top of the sleeve to make sure that the sleeve comes out symmetrical. Now that it's all pinned down, I'm gonna sew the sleeves together. The final step is to add the contrast hem. I'm first going to take one of my strips and fold it in half. I'm then going to align it with the edge of the shirt and pin down on the right side of the shirt. This is because we're going to eventually flip the fabric over to create that clean seam. When I hit a corner, I'm going to cut off the fabric and pin it down. And then I'm going to start a new piece of fabric to continue going around. Where the fabric meets in the back, I'm making sure that it's centered before I pin the two pieces together. I then sewed around the edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Next, you're going to fold the fabric up and then over in the back and pin the fabric down. I'm first using black thread to sew, and I want to kind of sew as close to the white as possible, but not sew on the white. Next, I'm switching my thread out to be white, and I'm going to re-sew over the contrast trim. I still want to be as close to where the two colors meet as possible, but this time I want to stay on the white fabric. here is where I decided that I didn't like the black thread on the closure, so I'm seam ripping it, and then I'm gonna sew it back on with the white thread. For the edge of the sleeves, I followed the same steps that I did for the collar. Unfortunately, because the fabric that I used isn't stretchy, I decided that it wouldn't be feasible to use it on the bottom because I feel like I would not be able to get into the shirt. If you're using a more flexible fabric or bias tape, I think that it would work fine. Anyway, here's how the final shirt turned out. I really love how the shirt came out, and I'm glad that I took another chance on my original shirt. Thank you so much to everyone who suggested that I make this shirt. As always, feel free to leave any questions or comments down below. Thank you for watching and see you all next time. Bye!